Video continues to come in from Maui, where the scenes of destruction are heartbreaking and just unfathomable in some cases. The fires in Maui are the deadliest in the U.S. since the Camp Fire happened here in Northern California back in 2018. Fox Weather reporter Max Gordon live just outside of Lahaina right now. Max, you're from the Bay Area, and the scenes from these fires are bringing back a lot of memories of California's deadly and devastating wildfires. What are you seeing there on the ground?
Yeah, so right now we're about 13 miles away from Lahaina, as you mentioned there. So we haven't been able to access the area yet. You can see there's a roadblock right behind me. They're only letting in utility workers, some residents to some areas, but access has been very restricted. But yeah, this has a lot of parallels to the Camp Fire, especially when we talk about the wildland-urban interface. You know, a wildfire spreading to a town, to a populated area. And really what happened in Lahaina is the fire just went from building to building to building, ripping through this old historic tourist destination to deadly consequence. Right now, 55 people are confirmed dead. Unfortunately, officials here say that likely this number will rise, but we're hearing just absolutely harrowing stories, people jumping into the ocean trying to escape the flames, some people trapped in their cars as they tried to drive away from this fire. A lot of questions also right now to whether or not people had adequate warning. We're seeing that potentially there was a fire earlier on in the day that firefighters thought had been contained, and then the winds whipped up and spread that fire towards the town. This was not the only fire also that has been burning on the island of Maui. Several fires have been burning all across the island, none of which have been fully contained, although most of these fires are sort of in the mop-up phase right now. But, you know, at the end of the day, though, this is just a tragic situation, the second deadliest wildfire in U.S. history, the worst natural disaster in Hawaii's history, according to the governor, and he says that the town of Lahaina really just looks like a war zone right now.
On that, we spoke with a woman in Ohio who's looking for her father who lives in Lahaina. She says she was on the phone with him as he was trying to escape in his car, and she hasn't heard from him since. But it reminded me of what happened with the Camp Fire here in California and how people trying to escape ended up being trapped. Do you know if some of the search efforts underway are going to focus not just in the neighborhoods, but in some of the major roads in and out of the area?
Oh, that's awful. And, you know, my heart goes out to that woman for what she's going through right now. Yeah, ingress and egress was a real tough issue with this fire, you know, as it was on the Camp Fire and as it is with many wildfires that we see, especially in mountain communities where maybe there's only one or two routes in. Yes, search and rescue efforts have been focused on especially the town of Lahaina, but also the roadways, burned vehicles, things like that. Yeah, you know, just combing through the debris, looking to see if there's anybody still left in there. The state of California has deployed an urban search and rescue team. There are cadaver dogs that are currently on the ground right now. But yeah, it's going to take a while before everyone is accounted for. And one of the tough things right now is that communication is very spotty on the west side of Maui. A lot of cell phone towers, phone lines burned, and so mobile hotspots have been deployed in the area, but still communication isn't great. Making a phone call is very tough in a lot of areas, so some folks just haven't been able to get in contact with their loved ones, with their friends, and so for that reason we still have hundreds of people that are still unaccounted for.
You mentioned the utility trucks passing behind you. I imagine they're doing some of that communications work. And there is still hope for a lot of people across the country who are trying to get in touch with their loved ones. You know, it may be just a situation that their phones don't work and there's no other way for them to let anyone know that they're okay. So we will hope and wait and hope for the best. Max Gordon, Fox Weather reporter, thank you for that live report.